So I'm now at the base here of this formation. Okay, I came all the way up and you can see this part. Okay, this solid wall, it's about 20 feet wide, all straight up. All right, so my guess is that this is a volcanic eruption that happened here in Yellowstone. The caldera sometimes gets very violent, and you can see that this was probably one volcanic eruption and basalt layered all the way up. And see the height of this wall. So that is probably like, I don't know, 100 feet. And then you have, so this probably was a volcanic eruption of great magnitude that happened many millions of years ago. It was deposited horizontally. Now there's layers of sediment. Okay, hopefully, if I'm right, that is going to the right, being the oldest rocks. Okay, so this part that is eroded was soft sediments, no activity or anything, and that is why it has been able to be eroded and consumed. Okay, but you have this huge wall. That part of the wall there in the middle is probably, I don't know, like 200 feet high. And so you can see that the basalt of the volcanic eruption was very, very solid. It was probably deposited in just a catastrophic event. But before that, you have millions of years probably of inactivity, where just soft sedimentary formations were formed here in the middle. And then you have another activity, all right, another volcanic activity that forms here the right wall over there. So let me walk over to that side. The right wall is a little bit thinner than the left one. Okay, so let me get to that place. Sorry about the moving and everything of the video. I'm trying my best to keep things straight. Okay, now here there's quite a gully, all right, going down, and you can see that this is the area where all the sediment has been emptied into the valley. So I'm coming down. This is about 20-30 feet wide. Let me find a spot to be able to climb back up off here. All right, so you see the gully keeps going all the way to the valley, depositing the sediment, and then eventually going to the Yellowstone River. So here we are at the base of this right wall, and the rock is of a different composition, still vertically uplifted. Okay, this is more crumbly rock. Okay, not as solid as the previous basalt, and probably I would say around 6-7 feet wide. Okay, so a little bit less wide than the previous one. Okay, but it's still pretty intense uplift there and erosion. Let me continue walking here. I want to get to the next layer. All right. So you see that this rock is a lot more eroded, broken down, probably from activity of freeze and thaw cycles, I imagine, because they are in big chunks. Now, after we pass here, that left wall, all right, we see this other deposit of sediment that is very soft, and you can see that it is also being eroded, but is kind of like primitive sandstone, all right, and you see that it is decomposing, eroding, and being also transported through erosion through this gully here. Okay, so this gully empties this next chunk of sediment, and you can also see that it's vertically uplifted. The red sediment is rich in iron. The greenish one is more rich in copper. And then you get to the next wall, another volcanic event. All right, so you see all these layers, but all of these, because they are layers, they had to be deposited horizontally, and then the mountain was uplifted in cataclysmic tectonic events in order for the layers now to appear vertically. Amazing. I hope you enjoy this, and always be watching and observing your surroundings. The interesting thing is also that on the other side of the valley, there's not really a corresponding formation to this, all right? At least not that it can be seen readily. So probably the deposits also go back and everything, but because of the way that the mountain is uplifted, generally you have that one side of the valley is more abrupt and the other one is more eroded than this one. All right, so